Saturday morning, right here on Power Talk Radio, 1460 and 101 FM. It's time for the Experts program, and our tech expert, Luis Alvarez from the Alvarez Technology Group, is joining us right now. Good morning, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Doing really well and looking forward to the big game tomorrow, Super Bowl 59, taking place down in New Orleans. And, the Super Bowl is much more than a football game for the vast majority of people that watch it. I mean, it's a reveal of new technology. It's, of course, the memorable commercials. I mean, I can remember back in the early 80s, a Super Bowl where the Apple Mac computer was introduced for the first time, right?
Yep. That was the famous commercial that many people say launched Super Bowl commercials as a thing. And it only played once. That black and white commercial where this person runs into kind of this futuristic, almost like 1984, if you read the book, type of environment, and throws this giant hammer onto the screen, became an iconic way of Apple expressing how different it was from everybody else. And it launched all those awesome commercials that we really enjoy as part of our Super Bowl experience.
Right. So for this 59th Super Bowl, what's going to be special about it from a technology standpoint? What will we be surprised, or what should we watch out for?
So one of the things the big thing that they're doing this year is that they are bringing in a lot more cameras. Typically, a Super Bowl has had like 35 or 40 cameras to record all the action. But for this Super Bowl, there are going to be 147 total cameras, including 85 game cameras, 27 slow motion cameras, 23 high resolution, 16 robotic, and 10 wireless, and 2 of those SkyCams that they drag across the top of the plays. And they're doing this for a lot of reasons, but primarily that what they're trying to do is improve instant replay, right? The viewer experience is obviously going to be awesome, and we'll talk a little bit more about what Comcast is doing in a minute. But just the fact that there are going to be so many cameras seeing the game from so many angles is going to give us a better ability to see if a fumble really happened, if a catch really happened, because you never want a game to be won or lost on a bad call, as we've seen in many games in the past. So that's one of the things that the NFL is trying to avoid this year.
I know one of the things that they have to do is so much of this equipment that you're talking about is wireless. Mm-hmm. And at these really large events, like a Super Bowl or a big golf tournament like the U.S. Open or the Masters or the World Series, less so for the World Series, but for some of these huge events, the networks that are covering it and all of the other people that have electronic gear there, they need to have a frequency coordinator. There is actually a team of people whose job is to send out weeks in advance to the different news organizations and the TV and radio and all the other media. Will you be bringing any wireless equipment with you? What frequency does it operate on? What frequencies can it operate on? And then these coordinators go through all of this voluminous data, and they will let you know if you can use the particular frequency that your piece of equipment is on, or if you have to change it, or if you're not able to use it at all because it would conflict with somebody else's, like maybe the TV broadcast and so forth. Mm-hmm. So what's really fascinating is if you look into what goes into the broadcasting of a large event like the Super Bowl and how much behind the scenes work has to be done by these people, it's really an incredible and Herculean task.
Yeah, and AT&T is the main provider of 5G connectivity at the Super Bowl this year. And so they're pulling out all the stops. I mean, they're deploying additional nodes. They have 11 of those cows, as they're known as.
Yes.
These are the cell on wheel towers so that they can enhance the experience. And they're also providing private 5G networks for first responders, for the broadcast team, for other purposes that they're going to be reserved specifically for them. So if you're going to be in New Orleans, either at the game itself or just watching it outside and enjoying it, you're going to have AT&T taking care of you from a 5G perspective.
Boy, that's amazing. Now, you said that Comcast is going to do something special. Tell us.
Yeah, so Comcast this year is doing their both Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, which is their sound enhancement, for the first time in the Super Bowl over enhanced 4K. So if you have the 4K package, part of your Comcast, your Infinity Comcast subscription, you'll be able to watch the Super Bowl in high definition 4K using Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. If you don't have an X1 box, you have to have a special 4K box. You can still watch it using the Xfinity app that you can download if you have a Fire Stick or if you have TV that has apps on it. The 4K streaming app that Comcast provides through Xfinity will also be broadcasting it in 4K, so you can watch it that way. You don't necessarily need to have the X1 box, but you still need to have a 4K TV. And I'm really looking forward to that. Dolby Atmos is the sound quality is amazing.
Wow.
So it's going to be a great broadcast if you have a 4K TV.
Now, what if you're watching it on a streaming service like YouTube TV? Anything different?
On YouTube, that's going to be broadcast in 4K as well. So if you have a 4K TV, you're going to be seeing that 4K experience. Obviously, for the sound system, if you have an external speaker or receiver that has Dolby Atmos built into it, you're going to get a great sound quality.
Now, I have YouTube TV at home, so I was thinking about that. But the other thing is, I have an antenna on my roof, and I can pick up the local TV stations over the air in the digital mode. So since this is going to be on Fox, that would be KCBA Channel 35 in our area. And as I recall, there are two broadcast signals of KCBA. One is the regular digital, and then the other one is like a high definition. So if I choose to watch the HD signal, will that be superior to my streaming signal off of YouTube TV?
No, your streaming experience is going to be much better.
Really?
Absolutely
Better than over the
yeah.
air?
Yeah, because it's going to be in 4K, whereas the streaming or the over-the-air one is just traditional high def.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying that because I remember when high def didn't exist. But yes, high definition has now become just standard.
Wow, that's amazing. So this is some of the special stuff that's going to come with the Super Bowl. Anything else?
Yeah, so one thing that we won't be seeing is something that the NFL has been experimenting with for at least 3 years, which is their automated AI-powered Sony Hawk-Eye, which is a system designed to spot the ball so that you don't have the refs having to figure out, like, did they make the first down? Did they not make the first down? Where did the ball get fumbled? So this system is something that they tested during the preseason, and they decided, hey, it's not ready for prime time. It's, as you would expect, it's designed so that there's chips in the ball, and that will be coordinated with cameras as well as sensors that will determine with extreme precision where the ball actually is supposed to be placed. But it's not ready for prime time, so you're not going to see it this year.
Well, Super Bowl starts at 3:30 p.m. I believe the kickoff is a little after 3:30 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, and it'll probably wrap up around 7:30, quarter to 8 at night, because it'll have that really long halftime show.
Yeah, I wish they'd make Monday a holiday, but Super Bowl Monday. But no, that's not. But I know for many people, they do take the next day off because we're throwing a party, but we know the next day's a school day, so we're going to behave a little bit.
Right.
But for a lot of people, it's a great time to party, especially if you're fans of the two teams playing.
Well, look at it this way. At least living here on the West Coast, the game is over at a reasonable time. Now, if you live in the Eastern time zone, that means that ball game's ending around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. And yeah, I could imagine that it makes it a little tough on Monday morning for people to get up and get going.
Absolutely, yeah. So I think my commute to the office on Monday is probably going to be lighter than usual.
Right. But, Louis, if you happen to live in Honolulu, the Super Bowl will be over by the time you sit down and have dinner.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, it's like I love when we travel to Hawaii and I watch Monday Night Football at, like right after lunch. So
right. There you go. All right, that's Louis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today on Power Talk Radio. Online, you'll find them at alvareztg.com. At AlvarezTG is the X handle. Louis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.
And Louis, tell us about what's coming up on Monday.
Yeah, so a little surprise in the tariffs that the Trump administration announced for China last week might impact a lot more people than you think. Tune in.
Yep, tune in Monday morning starting at 8:30 if you're up after Super Bowl Sunday, and join us and find out what's going on. All right, Louis, thanks so much. Enjoy the big game Sunday, and we'll chat again next week.
Take care, my friend.